ZMT Sports back. Yes, sir. Tom, the draft just happened over the last week. We haven't seen each other in a week. The Jets had a very good draft. I'll let you take it away. How do you feel? How would you grade your overall draft for the New York Jets in the 2021 draft?
Well, I don't want to start there, to be honest with you. What I want to start at
is it the Rangers?
No. I'm cool to talk draft, but how good, if people who listened to our last episode, we did pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Predicting what was going to happen in the draft. A couple of things you said, were teams' actual mindsets, but they never really transpired. Like, you knew the Cowboys were heavy on corners. That was the case. You mentioned Micah Parsons, although probably go Micah Parsons, because I listened to the podcast on my drive home from leaving the draft. You said, they'll probably take Micah Parsons because that's what the Cowboys do. Kyle nailed it on the head with, the Niners could possibly take Trey Lance. And I was just like, you know what? I think they're just trying to hedge their money. But, Kyle nailed that. I was spot on with, who held the keys and what, of each position of, 1 through 10, 10 through whatever, and then 20 to whatever. The Jets moved up because they had the ammo at 23, and they moved up, and the Giants moved back because they had the ammo at 11. So we did a really, 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 really good job of predicting like things like that.
Yeah,
which I think was good. I mean, our top 10s were like, ugh. I mean, I think I only got Surtain and then the first two right.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously all over the place, but at the same time, it was, I think when it came to positions and what the team's needs were and everything like that, it was in the same ballpark, which you can't really take away. Because nobody could have really predicted like, JC Horn going 7, or what the Eagles
going to Carolina, going 8.
Yeah, exactly. Or with the Eagles. Well, I mean, you can predict it with our fucking stupid division, but like what the Eagles did to the Giants and stuff like that. Like there was so many. It was about time. You were talking about the draft, one draft, the last podcast. What was it, like
2018?
2018, that you said of how crazy it was, how different it was. Well, 2021, it kind of lived up to that, I think, in that expectation, especially that first round, how different and it was wild. It's different. It was different for draft. It wasn't so predictable, which was great about this last draft. Definitely.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, it was the first time in my life, I mean, since Mark Sanchez, that I saw the Jets move up in the first round, which was super exciting. It was the first time in my life the Jets took 4 straight offensive players in the draft, which is exciting. I think the biggest thing you asked me, in the beginning, what I would do to grade the Jets. Like, I don't know. I don't know what letter grade I'd give the Jets. I mean, I'm not Daniel Jeremiah. I'm not like a top draft scout. I don't really know what these guys are gonna be. But I would just say that I think they learned from Darnold. I think that they learned, and
you hear that? Are you talking? Oh, I'm doing a podcast with Tom. Sorry.
What up, Jeff?
Tom said hi. Yeah. I'm always always guest appearances.
Always. Fuck.
Sorry for making you.
No. You're good, bro. Doesn't matter. They learned from Sam Darnold. Because Sam Darnold, I sent the thing in our group chat, in our Twitter chat. Sam Darnold in 2018 played a game where his receiving core was, and I'm gonna test you. How many of these guys Jermaine Kearse?
Yes.
Andre Roberts?
Negative.
Rashard Matthews?
Negative.
Deontay Burnett?
Are you leaving? All right, love you. Say the name again.
Deontay Burnett?
Negative.
That was a receiving core. Zach Wilson,
1 for 5.
When Zach Wilson suits up, week 1, he'll be throwing to Denzel Mims.
Yes.
Corey Davis.
Yep.
Jamison Crowder.
Yep.
Elijah Moore.
That's a good call.
Elijah Moore is my favorite pick because that's a pick where I think Jet fans would have been okay with him going offensive line or defense. But they wanted the player, they coveted the player, and they said, F this, we're going to go get this guy because he is a first-round talent. The fact that the first round.
And I'm just going to add on to here as well because, we're talking about like what the Jets did to let down Darnold, right? Well, now you're all on board with this Zach Wilson guy. And obviously you don't know what he's going to do yet, but at least at the same time, I know that, but I'm just saying for Jet fans, you can rejoice to a point. Like maybe they're really not trying to screw up like they did with Darnold. Maybe they're trying to give
That and
Wilson
that's
the
the
support.
and that's the positive. But what I would say, if they had the same exact draft with Darnold, let's say they go Sewell at 2.
Mm-hmm.
They go Sewell at 2. They trade up and get Vera Tucker at 14, and then they draft Elijah Moore. Sam Darnold, bro.
Set. Sitting pretty.
So, yeah, it's a new quarterback. And listen, Zach Wilson, I told you guys, it's not going to be the same. I'm not going to fall.
I kind of like him.
I'm not going to go goo goo gaga over this guy until he fucking proves
He changed
something.
my mind a little bit on draft night, and I know
dapping up the fans and
I mean,
his mom stole the show.
Listen, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. She is, but it takes a lot for somebody to go up on a stage and say, like, nowhere else I'd rather be. I want to play for the New York Jets. I know Sam, and I know Darnold said that. I know Darnold said that, and you loved it. So what's the difference with Wilson? What's the difference?
Here's the difference. I was young and I was naive then. I was stupid.
So quick in love.
I was stupid. I fell in love fast with Sam Darnold. But I'm not letting it happen again because, dude, I spent $100. I bought 2 years ago. I went to Fanatics, right? I went not Fanatics, Game Day Sports. What are the fucking stores in the mall, right? Yep. I went there, and the Jets just launched their new jerseys. I'm like, as a season ticket holder, dude, I'm gonna be at 8, 9 games, including preseason. I gotta get some new looks, right? I gotta get the jerseys because I can't be wearing the old stuff because what kind of season ticket holder would I be, right? Going to the store, I see Bell, I see Adams, I see Darnold. I said, I want black and Bell, I want green and Darnold, and I want white and Bell. Guy goes up to me, he's like, you want the replicas, you want the authentic? I'm like, what's the price difference? He goes, $50. I'm like, give me all authentic. I had 3 authentic game on field Jet jerseys.
Name them.
Bell,
yep.
Adams,
Gone.
Bell has been donated to Goodwill. Adams was lit up on fire. And Sam Darnold is sitting in my closet in the back, all the way in the back, and that jersey will be.
I wouldn't get rid of it.
I'm not going to get rid of that jersey.
Unless you want to paint it blue, powder blue.
I already ordered his jersey. I got black. I got Panther black, Sam Darnold.
I would get that too. If I was just collecting jerseys, like, why not?
So listen, when the Jets and Panthers don't play at the same time a lot, so when the Jets play at 1 and the Panthers are 4, Jet jersey's coming off. Sam Darnold jersey coming on, and I'm going to be a Panthers fan. And my sister's fiance is a Panthers fan, so I got someone to cheer with.
That's true. I like that.
But enough about my New York Jets because I talked about them a lot.
It's how we roll.
Kunzak, the Dallas Cowboys.
B-.
Oh, you're giving a grade.
I'm giving a grade.
You're giving a letter grade.
I gave a letter grade.
At least they got a 3.0 GPA with you. At least they got that.
Yes. But all right, so this is where I'm going to go with the Cowboys. They addressed their needs.
Right? Without a doubt. Yeah.
Without a doubt. They went defense, and that is what you need to do. Obviously, the situation was shit. J.C. Horn went to Carolina. Surtain went to the Broncos. Why? Don't know. But
because Rodgers is heading over there.
Probably, yes, which is a very good guess. And we're going to say we call it now. But at the same time, you lose your 2 top prospects and corners. And where do you go? And, I told you before, like, as a bash to Micah Parsons. And I was like, oh, the Cowboys might just choose Micah Parsons. But this was if, Surtain and J.C. Horn were still available. I said that they would pick Micah Parsons.
But hey, I didn't want to mention that. I wanted to give you credit.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. But I'm just saying at the same time.
Lost you.
You hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, okay. I hear you now. I knocked my wire out.
Oh, but at the same time, you looked at it. I was thinking it wasn't Micah Parsons that I was thinking. I was like, oh, maybe they should adjust the offensive line here or something like that. Like, I mean, I was thinking Slater because he was left on the board. But they went Micah Parsons. Justin Rush hated it. We had the video reaction. Everyone saw it.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was
that
very
was
funny.
Top notch. That was a top ZMT moment. Like, that's with you jumping onto the table.
Yeah,
that's up there with you jumping onto the table.
He had his opinions and everything like that. At the same time, I think I was just going with the realm and I was agreeing with him. But at the same time, I looked at Sean Lee just retired. Leighton Vander Esch isn't going to get his 5th year option. I mean, he's going to have 1 more year with the team, but they're going to let him go after that.
Yeah.
And it is arguable, even if he did opt out last year and he's got all these problems, which I'm going to get to. Micah Parsons was probably one of the most talented defensive players coming out of that draft. So
I
Yeah, and it filled the need, with Sean Lee being gone and Leighton Vander Esch, like I just discussed. So I give that grade an A. And then at the same time, with Calvin Joseph, they got a ton of corners, a shit ton of corners, and then they even addressed offensive line later, like I discussed with Josh Ball and everything like that. The reason why I give it a B- is because Cowboys fans can never be happy, and at the same time, these guys got problems because Jerry Jones loves criminals. He fucking loves criminals, and I mean,
He does, but they've worked out for you.
I mean, yes. I mean, Greg Hardy, not so much. But at the same time, most of them
There's always an exception.
Yeah, there's no exception. But, Josh Ball, apparently assaulting his girlfriend. And then Mika Parsons apparently putting his what and what. There's just problems. And I think that's why I would give it a B- because we don't know where these guys are going to lead into the NFL character-wise. But at the same time, as for talent and filling the needs, the Cowboys did that. And I think that's why it's a B-. They adjusted defense, which sucked, and now they had the offense to do it.
So. Yeah. So I think the way the Cowboys draft and the way the Jets draft in this new regime is the complete opposite, because the Jets go all high character guys. Every draft pick that the Jets have, it's like
which you should.
Which is like everything I hear about Elijah Moore is the dude's a dog. He's a character. Like he's going to be a leader in that locker room. Like people are going to want to play with him. People are going to play around him. Blah blah blah. Same thing with Zach Wilson. Same thing with Elijah Vera Tucker. Always team captain Joe Douglas drafts. And Jerry Jones though likes to draft the guys. You say criminals, but I'll be a little more fair to Jerry Jones.
Yeah, okay. Listen, criminals a little too far.
Let me tell you something. Jerry Jones, although I know Cowboy fans don't like him and they haven't won a championship since the 90s, builds consistent winners. When are the Cowboys ever 3-13 unless like a big player gets hurt, their quarterback gets hurt? When?
Yeah, you're right.
Ever.
No, you're right. They're always in contest. I know.
They're always competitive, and that's a testament to the owner and the GM, Jerry Jones. Like that's a testament. So I wouldn't say that Jerry Jones enjoys drafting criminals. They just happen to be criminals. But I think he likes to draft the guy that's getting disrespected because he likes that fire. I feel like he can connect with them because he's always been so disrespected, and everything he tries to do, like changing rules in the NFL, making big deals, money deals, building these giant stadiums, and all the owners are like, come on, Jerry, you're making us look bad, like, well, all this kind of stuff. I think that's why he drafts those type of players, because those players are like, I mean, these stories have no business really if he actually wasn't convicted of crimes to be put out there to hurt his draft stock. You know what I mean? Like if he actually didn't go to jail for these things and remember the big thing, like us growing up, now weed is normal. The big thing was weed. Oh, he smokes a lot of weed. He smokes, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, like let him do his life. Like why are you trying to come out here and hurt his draft stock and hurt his pockets because he smokes a little ganj?
Especially the fact that it's legal now too. Well, it's going to be legal.
But that's what I said back then. But now, like these stories always come out draft week, like, he was accused. The word accused gets thrown around like it's like a fucking pronoun. Like it just gets thrown around, and I think that's why Jerry Jones takes those kids, because it's like, listen, you'll be safe here in Dallas. We're going to take care of you. We're going to have a driver for you. We're going to get your apartment in a nice area. We're going to make sure set up pickups for you so you get to the facility, and he takes care of them so they don't fall off that beaten path. Like, look at what's that guy? You might be able to finish my sentence here. The dude that was traded to Miami this offseason, that Miami just cut him. He was a first round tackle 2 years ago.
To Miami?
God. Yeah, he was on Tennessee. He was on Miami, then Tennessee, then back to Miami. What's his name?
We had problems though.
Yeah. It was he was a right tackle or left tackle. Kyle
would know.
Whatever. Long story short, this dude just had off the field problems. Wasn't showing up to meetings. Wasn't showing up to practice. Getting in trouble. Whatever. All this kind of stuff, because those teams didn't really care. But I feel like Jerry Jones cares. So that's why I think he takes it.
No, I you're right. And like I was saying,
say criminals. I say,
no,
criminals. I say guys that are have gotten off the beaten path.
What I know you said was Elijah Moore, but what other picks that the Jets got you think that was an absolute steal? Or like,
my feelings on Zach Wilson already.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not judging on that pick. That pick has no grade. I think my favorite pick
Elijah Moore.
It's not even Elijah Moore. It's Vera Tucker, man. Trading up to take an offensive guard, like when our biggest need on offense is our O-line and our guard play. Biggest. Vera Tucker is a dog. The fact that he fell that far with all those teams, like they were talk that Vera Tucker was going to go to Carolina or Denver. Like there was talks of him being top 10 player, and he fell to 14, and the Jets were like, you know what, Minnesota, like we're gonna move up. And then all the picks that they got from the Jamal Adams trade, they said, fuck it, we're gonna move up. So I love the Vera Tucker play, but you did say like you're under the radar. Like Vera Tucker's a big player, like he's gonna be a stud. Like that's not a diamond in the rough find for Joe Douglas. Michael Carter out of UNC, North Carolina, the running back.
Very good too.
I think he could do some things in this offense. I mean, the offenses in Green Bay and San Francisco are going to be the offenses, the offensive scheme that's run with us and over here. And guys like Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, we have Tevin Coleman now, Matt Breida, AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones was a big prospect coming out of college. Look what he does in that offense. Jamal Williams. Those aren't big names. Those aren't Kamara. That isn't Henry. Those aren't, guys like that, and they thrive in that offense. So we don't need that kind of guy. We don't need to spend the money on the Le'Veon Bells anymore. We got Tevin Coleman. We got Michael P. Ryan. It's probably going to be a roster cut. And then we drafted Michael Carter. We drafted 2 Michael Carters. I like the DB too, but I think the running back's better. But yeah, so that's probably my favorite signing that's like under the radar that people are like, did they reach? Like, what happened? Like, why is that a pick there? Michael Carter, the running back, Michael Carter on the Jets from UNC. I think he's got some explosive power, especially the outside runs, outside scheme. He's got like the vision and the patience to get to the outside, and then he's got that like breakaway speed, like get away from the cop speed. It's great.
I totally agree with that.
Little trivia for you: get away from the cop speed. What announcer?
I know who it is.
Want a hint?
I know who it is. It's the guy. He always got the great calls. God damn.
He's got get away from the cop speed.
Yeah, I know it is. What the fuck is his name? Just give it to me. I know what it is.
Gus Johnson.
Gus Johnson.
He is
the greatest calls.
The black guy with the glasses.
Yeah, and he's got the greatest calls, man.
Yeah, because he gets so high
down the sideline.
Yeah, down the sideline.
Dude, he's fantastic.
There we go. He's got get away from the cop speed.
Oh, man.
Imagine Jim Nantz saying that.
Dude, see you later. But like
Joe Buck, this is how Joe Buck would say that. He's got get away from the cop speed.
Remember the Jaguars Hail Mary?
David Garrard.
He goes, oh, it was knocked down. Oh, he caught it. Dude, he's fucking electric.
He's got really good basketball calls too.
Oh yeah, dude.
I love Gus Johnson, and I love Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan is so underrated. Obviously, we know Matt Breen is really good. Bang, like that's electric. But Kevin Harlan calling football. Now everybody knows Kevin Harlan for basketball, TNT, TBS. Like he's a great basketball announcer. But his football calls, bro, underrated as shit. I'll never forget his one play he called. It was the Jets home opener in 2019, and it's great because actually I'll play it for the podcast here. The crowd goes like you can hear a pin drop in the crowd, and Harlan knows like he picks up on it, and he doesn't say a word when the ball's in the air, and then Le'Veon Bell catches it, and he just goes Bell, and the crowd like behind him is like, dude, it's nuts. But we gotta give some props to Kevin Harlan right now because.
2 very underrated announcers for sure.
It just needs to happen. Yeah. Fucking ads. YouTube, man. I should pay for YouTube Plus and like not get ads because it's just so annoying. But yeah, man. Wait till you hear this. Can you hear it? Okay. If I put it up here or over here.
I think I hear it play. I don't hear anything.
Do you not? Can I screen share here? Nah.
When you were up here, I kind of heard it, but I don't hear it now.
All right, do you hear this?
Yes.
Okay. All right, ready? Here we go. I'm going down memory lane. He knew when the crowd got like silent, and he just goes, and bow, and the crowd in the background.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but he has so many great calls like that, like all the time, and I don't think he gets enough credit. In the NFL, like if you think of announcers, I know we totally digress here, But who doesn't like talking about announcers?
Yeah, why not? We're just
You
going
think
around.
you think Joe Buck
Sucks.
because the Fox. I don't know why they always
Dude,
use them.
dude.
You think Jim Nance, Tony Romo,
Bro, fucking Joe Buck.
he's everywhere. He's
Dude,
everywhere.
I think it was like Greg Jennings on a kickoff return, like back when. And you just breaking tackle. It was like the Super Bowl year for the Packers, and you just breaking tackles and Jennings. He's going.
So monotone.
Still going. Still going. Still like, dude, like
so emotion. What about when he calls baseball games in the World Series?
God,
and someone hits a home run, he goes, and the captain's gone deep. It's 3-2. And it's like, bro, like just a home run in the World Series to take the lead. Like, can you show a little more emotion? Like,
oh, it's amazing what connections can do.
His call for the Cubs World Series, their first World Series in 100 years, was like it needed to be better. Like it was good, but like it needed to be crazy. Like,
first World Series in hundreds of years.
You're literally calling history, and you sound monotone.
That's fucking stupid.
Like his Red Sox and the Red Sox, he's called. Think about this. He is called.
What, the Red Sox World Series in Boston?
No, so the Red Sox broke it in St. Louis, which I give him credit. Like the crowd's not wild. If they broke that streak in Boston, that shit would have been.
I think you're talking about the first World Series in Boston, like for in a long ass time.
Oh yeah, he called that one too.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about when they broke the curse of the Bambino.
Oh yeah,
I'll never forget this call. It has happened. Like in a monotone voice, it has happened. That's all he said. And I don't know what he said for the Cubs, but it's not memorable. Like, people recite Mike Breen, right? Just to give a comparison, Mike Breen, right? They can literally say word for word his Ray Allen 3.
Yeah.
Like because the words he chose were perfect. He said it great, and then
rebound Bosch out to Allen. Bang! Yeah, everyone knows that. Joe Buck, you know nothing. Except he's still going. He's still.
And I feel bad for you guys because you know the NFC teams, you got to hear them in the big games. Like the Cowboys play the big games, it's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Like, it's funny. Tony Romo and Jim Nance are good. Jim Nance isn't a big like.
Think about it. When, like, I know you hate it because it's a moment again, but like when New England came back against Atlanta in the Super Bowl, down 28-3, and in overtime when New England scored, like it's so monotone.
Yeah, that was Jim Nance.
New England Patriots wins the Super Bowl. Like, dude, like.
Oh no, that was Joe Buck. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just came back down from 28-3, just won a Super Bowl, and that is your call. It's like
the things you could say to
win the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, no shit, but like that's it.
Like, and the greatest comeback in NFL history.
They didn't need to hire us.
Complete nothing. Yeah, right. Oh my god, if I ever called one of my teams winning a championship, you would hear like
you would pass out.
Like you hear me distance, and you're like, like that's what you hear. Like, oh my god, like you'd hear me in the distance. That's what you would hear. We fucking did it. We fucking did it. I curse. All you hear is we beep beep. I'm sick. I'm sick in the head. Do not play Henrique. Are you gonna play Henrique?
You would play this shit.
Yes, dude. My Chemical Romance
with a cigar.
My Black Parade. Dude, that's an underrated.
No, yeah,
that is an underrated.
If the Jets ever win a Super Bowl, you got to make a video with that song.
Because any team that's gone through a long drought, that's a good song because you can show videos of like them walking in the stadiums with their dad because the song is about their dad taking them to like see the band, but like the band would be the sports team.
Yeah, you were hoping Sam Darnold would be that moment, but it's not.
It was Sam Darnold, then I held hope for Deshaun Watson, and now it's going to be pretty boy Zach Wilson.
Broadway Zach.
Oh, God. Anyway.
We fucking just jumped around. Holy shit.
Honestly, though, we've done a good job. We stuck on football. We just talked about announcers. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Yeah. I'm just going to bring up 2 steals for the Cowboys because we talk about linebackers. Jabril Cox.
I was about to ask you.
Jabril Cox in Michigan. Absolute fucking steal. Great stuff. Yeah. Joe the linebackers, and then the other one I really liked is the wide receiver out of Stanford. He's got a funny name, but he gives me like Cole Beasley vibes. Simi Fehoko, is that how you say it?
Simi Fehoko, yeah.
Fehoko, yeah. You know why not?
Fehoko,
yeah. But obviously you got Cooper, you got Gallup, you have all these good receivers, CeeDee Lamb and everything like that. But why not? add a little fun to the mix. You know, he's a good competitor, and I like the pick. I like how he's very he's Cole Beasley. You know, he's
He doesn't have to be the
Cole
big
Beasley.
contributor.
Yeah, I know, but
You guys got the muscle, you know.
Yeah, but at the same time, why not? Why not have another?
Exactly. You
can every other pick was, you know, all the DTs they got, CBs they got, you know, that obviously had to be addressed. They got to prove something to me, but something that's out of the blue, like, you know, Mika Parsons, Jabril Cox, and you know, wide receiver like Simi. That's what I like. So
you know what sucks for us, like thinking about the draft and going into every football season is really, although the Cowboys are a much better organization than the Jets, and the Jets are like a joke of an organization when it comes to winning, right? We haven't seen much.
We both haven't seen much, but you've seen more than me. Boom.
Surprisingly, I have, but like, and just in general, like the fan bases that we're surrounded by have won. Like, it's time for our teams.
I wish.
Like it's time for the
wish.
Like, I would be so happy.
I want to see division. I want to see division playoff game win. That's all.
I would be so happy if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
I'd be happy
like that's a team that like that's like a team that like if they're playing like if the Cowboys ever played like the Chiefs or the Pats or the Buccaneers in an NFC Championship game, and everybody's rooting for Brady or everyone's rooting for Belichick or everyone's rooting for Mahomes, I'm like, fuck all that. Like, I'm rooting for the Cowboys. And you know what's crazy to me? I can't see it. Like, I don't know what team the Jets would play in a Super Bowl that I would see them winning. Because every game the Jets play, I think it's a loss.
Same. Not for the Jets, for the Cowboys.
Unless it's the Jaguars, the Browns, the Raiders, like any other team, like other than that, I'm like, damn, they're gonna lose this game. So
listen,
I'm
with you.
I can't imagine them going against the Packers in the Super Bowl. Like, they don't stand a chance.
Listen, I'm with you because I was in the Cowboys said that what Jets Cowboys Super Bowl. That is
Dak Prescott. That would be so us. That would be
what a shit backwards Super Bowl. But
bro, that would suck so much, dude.
That would be the biggest blessing but curse in the world, because I would be able to,
one of
us we wouldn't talk to each other.
I think I'd be able to deal with Giants. I think you'd be able to deal with Giants, Cowboys, NFC Championship more, and I'd be able to deal with Jets, Giants Super Bowl more.
Jets, Cowboys, Giants, Cowboys,
like Giants, Cowboys, NFC Championship game. I think like in the landscape of our group though, like how me and you always go at it. Like I think you'd be able to survive.
I don't know what I would do. No, I don't know if I would survive.
You wouldn't survive. Yeah, that's another shit situation.
Because this is how it rolls in my world. Because listen, I hate Philadelphia probably more than Giants, more than Washington, everything like that. But they suck now. So boom. And then all of a sudden the Giants, they get a little talent. They get Galladay, they pick up, Tony Ford is very good. He's a very good receiver, but you still have Daniel Jones in the center and everything like that. And I'm tired. I mean, the defense is phenomenal. I'm not taking it away. But you talked about it, you said it multiple times. The Giants literally reached their peak last year and still won 6 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think last year
and nothing has changed that much. Yeah, nothing has changed. Obviously, they picked up a really good corner again, and they made the defense a little better.
Are they 4 or 5 games better? Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll see.
Think about it. They're not getting.
You still have Jason Garrett. You still have Daniel Jones. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
They lost. Listen, they lost the game to when Dak got hurt. They wouldn't have beat the Cowboys if Dak was there. They barely beat him with Andy Dalton.
No. Oh no.
They beat Washington twice. They always beat Washington. That's 3 wins right there. Like, it's whatever. They had 1 quality win last year. It was Seattle.
Seahawks, yeah. And it wasn't even with Daniel Jones. It was with fucking
Colt
McCoy, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And
they lost a lot of bad ones.
That just gave the significance to the defense of how good they were playing at that point. But at the same time, I was gonna say, this is my motto: Philadelphia are jerk-offs, but New York is delusional. That is what I got. That is my motto.
So I think I can agree with you on that, because I deal with it. I'm the little brother to say.
Yeah.
Well, all my teams except the Rangers. I can get a little delusional with the Rangers. Like, it happens. Like, when I talk to Islanders fans, not so much Devils fans, because the Devils are shit too. But when I talk to Islander fans, right now I get delusional. Like, I have 2 uncles that are Islander fans, and I'm like, you guys have no talent. You're not winning shit. Like, that's the loot. Like, we're so better than. You know what I mean? But I hope they do. I hate that. But like shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
but I could like the Giants always are overhyped a little bit because they are a world-class organization. They've won 2 Super Bowls. They beat the Patriots in their perfect season. You know, they have 4 rings, which is, you know, top echelon of the league. They play in a town with an absolute dysfunction dumpster fire, so they automatically look 100 times better. So that's why I understand why you say, you know, New York can be delusional, because
it is
like,
delusional. It's
Giant fans can get very like the Giant fans right now. Think about this: the Jets went 2-14, right? The Giants went 6-10. Giant fans will act like the Jets organization and their team roster-wise are the dirt under their shoe. That's a little delusional.
So you do to me, but
no, because hockey's. I'm talking football because football can switch so fast.
I'm joking.
So the Giants are as many wins away from being a playoff team as the Jets are to them.
Yeah,
like just to be on an equal playing field. So I get what your point. I'm not trying to make a point myself.
No, I just think it's. I mean, for the exception,
I can understand why you say that. Yankee fans are delusional sometimes too,
and I am a Yankee fan, and I agree with that. But I'm saying like they really are deluded. Like the Yankees haven't done shit in a decade, and like there's like obviously they have the team on paper, but they never get it done. So what is the point of being overhyped? And that is the same thing for the Giants. You might have some things on paper, but like you gotta prove it first. You gotta do something. You know, I'm saying I can't like talk as much, but at the same time, who knows what would happen if, you know, everything was set in page. You know, you had a first year new coach last year, McCarthy, you know, Dak got hurt. Like, who knows what would have actually happened. And the Cowboys still almost competed for a playoff spot that the Giants were. They literally were just that one game out. So it's just, I don't know. They're just so delusional. It just makes me so angry. It just
your division,
bunch of fucking dickhead.
I agree with you where you live. So if you lived in Dallas or in Texas,
living on cloud 9 right now,
you'd be so good because it's your team. I mean, the nearest team to you is the Saints. Probably have to deal with some Saints fans or some Chiefs fans in Missouri, maybe Arizona, like Cardinals fans.
They needed fucking a bounty gate to win a Super Bowl. Those pieces of shit.
Like Dallas is the team, but here you're a Cowboys fan, right? You're America's team, the most hated organization in football, and you live near hotbeds of Eagles and Giant fans. It's a nightmare.
Terrible.
Like, the only thing I can compare to you is I had to live through a division with the greatest dynasty in all of sports and the greatest quarterback of all sports and the greatest coach of all time.
But this is the thing. That was set in stone though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's annoying as a football fan.
No, absolutely.
Like the thing is, like the excitement you have going into every year that you might win the division or who's going to win the division. It was never a question in my life ever. Like everybody this year is going to say.
Would you rather that though?
I wouldn't, because when your team think about last year, the NFC East.
Shit, garbage.
6-10, 7-9 won the division. There's been years where the Sunday night football game for the division is 8-7 versus 8-7. Like that would never happen in my life. Like when the Jets are making the playoffs, they were going 10-6, 11-5, 12-4, and in the wild card.
Yeah, it's pretty bad actually. Yeah,
that's annoying. I've never seen a Jet home playoff game in my life, ever. Every single Jet playoff game has been on the road because of New England. So how do you, even when you get there, how do you expect them to win? And I've seen 3 times in my lifetime the Jets go 10-6 and not make the playoffs. You've seen the Cowboys go 8-8 4 times and made the playoffs. Like, not 4, but like you've seen that.
They made the playoffs. You lying second shit.
No, I'm just saying.
They would lose the last game of the regular season because they fucking rigged, bro.
The Jets go 8-8 in 2011. The Giants go 9-7. The only difference in the game was the Giants beating us in our records. The Giants beat us, right? Victor Cruz 99 yards. Giants win the Super Bowl. We're home. Like,
it's amazing.
If the Giants,
it's all your fault. It's all your fault why they won the Super Bowl.
If the Giants and Jets flipped divisions, if the Giants were an AFC team and the Jets were the NFC team, the Giants wouldn't have been in the playoffs that year because New England would have won. We're 14 games.
Yeah,
they were 14-2. So like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I played the Jets every single day for that Super Bowl that year.
That is not fun. Being in a team, dealing with that team, it's not. Like everyone's gonna say the Bills are gonna be. Oh, the Bills are 100% gonna win this division. We don't know that. Yes, they're the favorite, but we actually don't know. New England could be better. Could be way better. Miami's got a solid team.
You think Matt Jones will start?
I don't know, maybe. But you don't know, man. You don't know.
No, the AFC East this year is going to be very interesting for sure.
I mean, the Jets are the worst team, no doubt. Jets are probably going to go.
I know, but they're going to have improvements, though. You never know that they're going to have
weird
different.
To say.
I know, but they're going to have improvements, though.
No. It's so the record. I said they'll probably go 5-12.
Oh, you said it's so
weird. There's 17 games.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So the records are going to be like 10-7.
Elite. Dolphins defense is elite. Patriots just need a quarterback that can throw the ball, and if Mac Jones is it, then that's it.
Their defense is elite.
And then the Bills are the Bills. If they are just as good as they were last year, you never know. And then the Jets, you get a whole different coaching system, whole different offense. The defense ain't that bad. We'll see how competitive this division is. I don't think the NFC East is going to be competitive. I think it's literally between Washington and actually
it'll be competitive. It's competitive every year. It's either competitively bad or competitively good. It's never not competitive. Yeah. There's always 2 to 3 teams fighting, always. And then always the last place team in the division always like throws a wrench in the whole thing by like beating one of the teams at the top. Always.
Apparently the Giants were one of the teams that Aaron Rodgers was talking to. If that happens, I'm going to bed and I'm never watching it.
Where'd you see that?
He was in the top 5 teams. New York Giants was 4.
Oh, he put out a list of where he'd want to go.
Yeah. Number 1 was Broncos. Number 2 was the Niners. And then I forgot. The Niners. I know, but it was probably just a want. But number 3, I forgot. Yeah. But number 4, the Giants is on that list. I don't know why he would want to ruin his life there, but
bro, if I wouldn't be able to deal with Giant fans if they had Aaron Rodgers.
They had Aaron Rodgers, bro. I'm packing up the season and like I'm just not watching next year. I'm just not, or just until he retires.
Whew. You get at least 5 to 6 more years out of him.
Yeah. There goes my hopes, bro. You know what Aaron Rodgers does to the Cowboys.
That'd
bro.
be half of that'd be half of Dak Prescott's contract. Although you got to watch next offseason, you got to watch out for the Giants because if Daniel Jones doesn't look like a real quarterback, they got the extra first-round pick. They can sign a veteran. They can trade. Yeah. Think about it. Next year, I bet you Watson is moved, Russell Wilson might be moved, and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's 3 elite-level quarterbacks that could get moved.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know. We should definitely – we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. But
the Dolphins are going to end up with Deshaun Watson, and I'll join you, and we'll watch football. Because if you think I'm dealing with Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson in one division, I don't care how good Zach Wilson is. Jets ain't winning fucking shit.
We're both
and Mac Jones
on the same thread.
Tom Brady, so throw that in there. We're the Browns now. Jets are the Browns. I've accepted.
Hey, look at the Browns now, baby.
We're the new Cleveland Browns.
Look at the Browns now.
Jets have the longest NFL playoff drought. They had the least amount of games won in the last 3 years. They've picked top 5 6 times in the last 7 years. Shit. Garbage. But this was fun. Okay. I love talking NFL.
It was.
Fuck Tom Wilson.
Yeah, we've went through a lot today, so we won't get into it. But
fuck Tom
fun.
Wilson and fuck the NHL for finding the Rangers $250,000 for.
And then Tom Wilson got fined
$5,000 for almost killing 2 people. And then when he got in the penalty box, it was like, dude.
He did kick ass.
You saw the video. You saw no. Yesterday he's a fighter. Yesterday he kicked ass.
Yeah, yesterday. I'm not talking about
what he did that night. That's what I mean. He was in the penalty box and did that.
Yeah,
you saw my Snapchat.
No, what boggled my mind. I mean, we'll wrap this thing. But the bottom of my mind that the most about the whole situation is that the Capitals posted like a picture of him on a Twitter and deleted it, and it was like, like Tom Wilson chooses violence. Like that is insane. And then they like promoted. Yeah, and they promoted literally violence. Like
I read the big statement from the NHL. They said that a thing, and like I said, this was the last thing. They did not find him that much because they said he was defending himself because Artemi Panarin jumped on his back. And
what about the initial thing?
So, and that's why Panarin jumped on him, right? And then you could tell when they started going to the boards, Panarin was just holding him. Yeah. He didn't want to fight. He was just holding him back. You know what I mean? Like he jumped on him, pulled him off, and was holding him back. And then Wilson threw him to the ground and
suplexed him on his head. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, on the ice.
And he didn't even have a helmet on.
Ice. And he didn't have a helmet on because he knocked his helmet off before. Like
I don't know who was it yesterday, but that cross check was nasty.
Buchnevich, he got suspended.
I know, but that was hot. I like.
Well, I mean, Mantha was slapping him.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what?
Right to the fucking chin. I love
And
it.
the Rangers fired their GM and their president. I mean, although I will
backwards.
say that's been a big story. Surprisingly, back to my thing about the Rangers being big. It was like, dude, I got like 3 Bleacher Report notifications, like breaking news, like things like that. Like if the Devils fired their GM and their president, it wouldn't be like an. But anyway, but our new GM, Chris Drury, I know Chris Drury's an NHL great.
Mm-hmm.
It made me so much more comfortable with what they did. They literally basically told us, and Glenn Sather, I don't know if you know who Glenn Sather is. He drafted Gretzky, he drafted Messier, he won the 4 straight cups with the Oilers, or 5 out of 6 cups with the Oilers. Then came to New York in '94, and then brought all those players over, and then won a cup with the Rangers, and it's been with us ever since. But long story short, he's taking a bigger role again because he feels like he can take this team to the next level. Thought they underachieved, and Chris Drury literally said, "This has been my dream job since I got here, and I'm ready for it." And my goal is to bring a cup here, and our mentality and our reputation is not going to change. And I know around the league it's not going to change because I'm going to keep it up to that prestige. And I heard those words today, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it was weird, and I love JD and I love Gorton because they Gorton created all those runs when we
started the blueprint. Yeah, they started the blueprint.
And JD's been a long-term Ranger, and when he got the job 2 years ago, literally we all thought it was going to be his job until he didn't want it anymore. And the report out was, Jim Dolan went up to him and said, "Hey, I'm thinking of removing Gorton and making Drury the GM because Drury's been getting a lot of GM offerings. It's like, hey, we can't keep him here that long because he's going to go take a GM job with another team. He turned down the Sabres job, but he got a bunch of other offers. So JT was sticking up for his boy and said, he goes, I go. So Jim Dolan took 2 days. It took 2 days because this happened, Monday night, Tuesday, after the whole Islander stuff debacle when they lost all those games to the Islanders. He said it took 2 days, and he said, you know what, this is a decision I think this organization needs. We need to propel, and I respect it.
Yeah.
Although now Jim Dolan can stay the fuck away from the Rangers forever because I love Mike Tutalo's tweet, dude. That had me crying. The Knicks, the Rangers died, so the Knicks could live.
And fucking Knicks.
That was awesome.
Fucking Knicks.
Yeah, they had a bad game last night. They'll be back.
Yeah, of course they had a bad game in one game.
They played Phoenix. They played Phoenix, and I don't think Phoenix will lose 2 games in a row. They just got manhandled by Atlanta. So
fucking lost 2 parlays yesterday by 1 leg, dude. 1 leg.
But man, good episode, bro, per usual.
Yeah, follow Sports at ZMT, Sports_ZMT, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I think I'm just gonna post the sweatshirts. I think it's about time we just let it go. We haven't done it yet.
I should have worn mine tonight.
Same here. I'm thinking about it, but yeah, I'm gonna. I think I'm just gonna post it. I wanted to get us a photo in it. We'll do it eventually, but I'll just post it and see what people think. We'll just do that. But that's a wrap on this episode 34. Tom, good episode, and that's it, man. Yes, sir. Yep. All right, Tom. Take care.
Later.